You say this, you think this is the 4-inch?
Well, this way, we'll get payment on it because
I can
they're
show
gonna
you
buy the
there.
water, they can add it to their.
Because I was actually under the impression that the 4-inch was a little
They don't want their water, so.
MM on page meter.
And I agree, we don't want to use them as a pawn in between a hiccup, so,
Yeah.
okay.
So did they bill Epic or are they billing us?
They sent the bill to me,
Oh, okay, ordered by Epic, okay.
yes.
All right. Yeah, so we was just gonna start incurring costs, and I'm just like, either way, we're gonna buy a meter.
There you go.
So just get it done.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and pay it then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think, so you said that would change the totals then at the bottom, yeah, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so add the 2675. We just have it in the minutes that it was approved. Your payroll down there, Gary had been storing up his hours, so we
No.
finally built some.
No.
On Heber Power, there you can see it's, that bill is higher than Daniel Municipal. Of course, our gas, Chris's invoice. The SR Hansen Engineering wastewater inspection report is an inspection that has to be done on the wastewater yearly. So this was our first one. I got a card in the mail, contacted the Department of Environmental Quality, and she showed me, told me what to do, got on the website, found somebody. This Mr. Hansen came and did the inspection. He did it last year as well. And that sent the report in, everything was fine.
Okay.
So we're good for a year.
I was gonna say, can I interrupt you for a second? So they scoped and looked at it and.
I can't tell you what they did, I can give you a copy of the report.
Well, Kim had mentioned earlier to me, in a different
Okay,
conversation.
Kim was
that-
there with him.
Yeah, and he just said it's surprised it looked great. I mean, had the lines in the tank and da-da-da-da, and so that's like not really an issue that Kim's concerned about as far as, yeah, that was really good.
The sludge was low.
I think just everything about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that one root issue back
Yep.
when, and then they,
It will come back, that one will, but
so, anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. Then once again, one lab test for the water and your payroll amounts.
so we can get a copy of that report,
I do have it. Do you want me to send you a copy?
please.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions on warrants or any other comments by Lynn, any other things that I may have rushed you through or forgot?
No, on the Polaris that we discussed last month, that's the new software program. We are starting to collect the data. We'll be sending that in later this week, and next week at the beginning. Then they'll do the conversion from our current system, getting all our information put into their system. I think on the 22nd, which is 2 weeks from today. Sherry and I will go down for training.
Oh, it's exciting.
We'll be up and running after.
I'm excited to see the reports.
We did mention last time, and I hope this is all right with you, that we do just have one checking account rather than all these different ones that we have right now, and it's delineated as different funds in the town, and you can have as many as you need so that you can cut one check to Kathy for all three things that she does, and
You just categorize it on the computer, but it's one check.
yeah, so it'll make
That'll make
banking
it
easier.
And that's just the town, right? The water companies will still,
No,
No, they
everything in
won't.
the town.
it'll all be in one.
All the, they have different funds, it'll all be,
There will be a Daniel Municipal Water Fund that will have all the information just like a separate checking account, but it will be a fund within the mother checking account.
And that came through our auditor that's saying that that's fine, or is that the Polaris that's saying that that's fine?
I think most communities do that.
Okay. So-
But if you have an objection to that,
You
Well,
don't have to.
state it now. I mean, he said some people don't, they're real leery of doing that at the beginning, of getting onto a new system and having it like that. But, and if you need time to get used to the system and decide if you want to integrate everything,
You know,
It's
quite
up to
honestly,
the
my
town.
thinking was, I mean, the count would be, at this point, I know we talked about something like that, but this can all be done before we ever merge all the accounts, can it?
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't know if I would have an objection to merging them all, and especially if we were told that it's fine to do. Yeah.
I just have a question on our bond. They require us to have so much money in the account,
Mm.
and how does that play into?
It'll still show in your water fund exactly like we.
Yeah, it would be
And
just.
so they will accept that, the state will accept
I
that?
think so, I
I'm sure they
can,
would.
Because, I mean, they're requiring us to have that fund.
Because they're gonna look at it and see X amount of dollars in that specific fund.
Yes,
They're not gonna
exactly.
see the whole net,
right.
just seeing this portion that they need.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we're looking
But
at the
yet, when
water,
we pull a check, it's
just
coming
like
out
it
of
is.
the
Yeah.
net fund.
Well, I didn't know if they'd make us separate that for something that,
But we're supposed to have like a year's in the kitty for that bond payment, I think, or one payment in the kitty.
For
Is
10
that-
years, isn't it?
I think it is a 10-year thing.
Yeah.
They have one full year, yeah.
Which on our budget delineates that out. And that will still be delineated out on the budget.
I just didn't want to
System.
jeopardize our bond.
Yeah, I don't think
Make
anything
them
will
call
change
the
that
bond.
way.
I don't think so. you know.
All of the
What?
current information you'll be able to find just by looking in that water fund. It'll be
Okay.
just the
It'd be
same.
just like
way.
as you look at the checking account.
Yeah, as long as the state's okay with that, I just don't want to run into a problem if they look at our
On that extra count.
on the bonding and call the bond, because we really don't have
I wouldn't imagine.
$1.6 million sitting there to pay.
I wouldn't imagine they would, because they, other communities use it, I'm sure they have bonds also,
Okay, that was my only question.
I will ask when we,
But
I'm
that's
meeting with the
specifically,
software
yeah.
people, if they have set up other,
We'll check.
yeah.
When we go back to number one,
I was just gonna say, you absolutely,
I mean,
back to number one.
Before
Yeah, I
you
think-
approve the warrants.
no, after we're done.
So, anything else then?
No.
Okay, Chair, I'll entertain a motion to approve the
Do
warrant.
we have a new total, Lynn?
Well,
42,324.
99659.
45,
say that again, Sherry.
46.
44,99659.
Okay.
I'd already have this.
Good girl. Motion to approve the warrants for $44,996.
We have a motion to approve the warrants.
Second.
We have a second. Any last discussion? And all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Warrants approved. Okay, item number 12.
No, number one.
Excuse me, number 1, yeah. Short, I got a short attention span, sorry.
Have we heard anything else on the irrigation pipeline coming down? Any updates on, for them piping the irrigation line?
You have a puzzled look.
Yeah, no, you're talking about the
The
easement.
agreement.
Yeah, the easement
Okay.
agreement and that.
I have
Are they
not-
moving forward with that, or?
They are, I hear there's still 2 issues for the people, but, I mean, they're trying to certainly move forward with it, and I don't know exactly where they're at as far as stage. Have you heard anything as far as when things might come in for staging or anything for that project?
They're looking at as soon as the irrigation season's over.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that
Casey
creek's
wasn't
been
at the
dry
last
for a
meeting,
long
but
time.
they accepted the agreement with the changes that the town had suggested. Sent us a copy, the mayor and I went in and had our signatures, signed it
So
and
it's
had
just
it
the two house.
notarized. And we haven't received,
And he came in and
A copy
asked,
back
and I said,
from them.
so he knows the town kind of got it worked out, as far as the town process.
But you was at the meeting when we all met out
Yeah,
there, so.
I know, I was as a concerned citizen.
Right.
I had a fire in front of my house. And it was, I worked my butt off to keep it out of that wooden pile that's in front.
Right where we met, that, yeah.
How'd that start?
A cherry bomb came off of a car, and luckily I was literally just pulling into the subdivision. I seen the gray smoke coming up as it first started. So by the time I ran to the house and grabbed a shovel, I had my daughter run and grab a hose, and we hooked into the hydrant next to the tank. Barely had enough to get it up there, and I was shoveling like crazy
It's
trying to get this
unmetered
thing
water.
out. It's fire suppression, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Fire suppression.
there's
Wow.
120,000.
Don't we get credit for your bad?
Wow.
You know what, you're
Yes,
on.
keep track of your hours, it
Don't
goes
we get
against our.
credit? credit for
I
that?
was just gonna say,
So I was
so,
concerned, I was like, if we do move forward, it'll be a good thing because we can get probably rid of that big fire, the waste wood right there.
Wow.
And that's the second one that we've had, right there. One came from the telephone pole, or the power pole, when the transformer blew. But this one was just the whole cherry pipe was laying there. It came down, landed right against the fence, and then the grass that was there
Oh, 10.
started, and then it just started coming down the creek, started coming up,
Wow,
but, yeah, I was kinda hoping that.
good thing he was there.
Wow.
I mean, it was timing, literally perfect timing, because it was only about
Literally.
6x8 when I got on.
The old heart pounded.
I'm on 911, and I'm like, ah!
Increase heart rate, you gotta do that twice a day, you know.
Well, I had it down to like a 5x6 by the time they showed up, so I was
how fast? Show up. 5 minutes,
20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Most of them were still in plain clothes, so they were responding from their houses.
Well,
Wow.
Since we're on number
What time
one,
was that?
so
what time? 5 o'clock, 6?
5, 6, 6, I think.
I think the
Closer
only
to
station
6.
that throw full-timers in the valley floor during business hours.
Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock or something like that, because it was after I picked up my daughter, we ran to the store and we were coming back. So it was about 6 or 6.
Wow.
just on that note, we will have a presentation by the fire board with that issue that we're talking about. And so save some of this effort, because that's worth some points for our, and there's another example of why that might be a very helpful thing for the town, like you just said.
By the way, the legislature set up a committee for that. I don't know if you followed the last legislative session that they just went through, I don't know what they call it anymore, but anyway, they've set up a committee, interim committee that will be approving
Approving the jobs that qualify for
those for the funding.
the
yeah.
funding,
You
slash
did-
funding.
Yeah, you did all this, it doesn't qualify, so, or, yes, it does qualify.
So that sheet that I had, I thought that came out after the session closed.
Yeah, but they went back, they're meeting again, they're rewriting that for the next session already, so there's some big bills going, League of Cities and Towns is backing quite a few bills already. They're way down the road already, so. But that was one of them, they did form an intern committee that will be doing those. It'll consist of, I can't remember what personnel. it
So most likely by January, it's gonna, it could be changed from what we have in hand or what they're gonna present next month. You said it could change by then?
Yeah,
Okay. Hopefully they know what changes might come down the pipe.
yeah, they had, like I said, it's on the website, you can review that whole thing, but because that was my question, who says that that's a good project or who doesn't, how do we know? Now we're gonna find out. It won't be local, sounds like.
So that will be on next month's agenda.
Okay. Item number 1 still? Anything else?
Good.
Okay. Item number 12?
You want your planning report before we leave?
Yes, did I skip over that?
Number 5?
You missed it.
I did. What about planning department? Yes, I did.
Okay, you want to talk about plat? This is our code for plat and what has to be on there. We have Jim Ritchie that's trying to get a plat signed for subdivision, and it's kind of gone a different route, a unique route. So that's what needs to be on there. As you can see, when planning signs, it's a planning commission approval.
Thank you.
So you're able to look at that.
Now, let me make a comment while Eric's still looking. So I had that individual come and there's lots of signatures on those Mylars or plot map as Eric's talking about. And being that it was my first, I wasn't sure what order I was supposed to sign and things. And so, and he was, well, you know, it's all done. He signed, you signed. And so I certainly didn't sign and got some clarification. And I'm glad I didn't sign because it needs to be signed by everybody. And I'm the last signature. And so, this is really for me to understand, but I think as council members, you might have some folks try to come and get answers or questions that, or things done that obviously point in the right direction. Just, if it comes to me, it's ending up on Eric's or Ryan's desk at the end of the conversation anyway, but, thank you, Eric.
Okay, that might help you.
Yep.
So, here's the planning report. Or play hours, just questions? What you're seeing, you guys want a copy?
Sure.
Take home? Oh, boy.
I'll speak on my study.
Okay, so the parish property is in hold pattern, or do you have any information on that?
No, they're looking for more information to try and suffice the evidence that it is a law of record, so. We sent them a letter, Casey, that the information that they sent was not enough for me to make a determination that it was a lot of legally created. And so at this time, the town couldn't provide that, what the letter they wanted there. So they said they would continue to work towards doing that.
And Ron Phillips?
Ron Phillips works for Twin Creeks Water. They're, the Grassmans, where we're looking at the other subdivision, are looking at hooking into city water, but it's not city water, it's Twin Creeks. So Twin Creeks has some questions for us regarding capacity, and, you know, Mike got his hooked in there, Mike Peterson.
Up on his project, right?
Yeah, so that's coming off that same Twin Creeks line, which is the old Billy Beather system. So they have,
Right.
we just have, they just want to know what our build out's gonna look like, what we're planning on, so anyway. I still have to touch base with him. It's just one of those crossover special districts in the town, so there is some regulations that we have with the special district in the town. There's some crossover.
And the other gentleman is that Aaron Baker, which is on the other side of Mike's, on the Highway 189,
Right,
okay?
and he is called with possible annexation inquiry, so further up, 189.
And then, have we, just, this is probably for all the council, but us, we have not got a date set for that new meeting, Highway 40 meeting yet, correct?
I believe he's gonna set it for the 29th. I told him I couldn't make it that day, but it looks like he went ahead and set it for that. Set you an appointment today.
All right, so, okay.
Yeah.
I think I don't know how many people are really gonna make it, because everyone seemed to be all over the place on that date.
Yeah. Well, he wanted the 22nd, and then he just moved it to the following Monday, so,
Like one person said he couldn't, so
yeah,
they could on the 29th, so he did.
yeah. And I told him I couldn't. I suggested Friday, but they like meeting on Monday, so.
Okay.
Any other questions on that? We did issue the permit for Von Blasco on his thing, and then I do have Jed Seuss's building permit here if anybody wanted to view. Wanted to look at that prior to going to the planning commission.
Okay, good. And just, is there a map on here showing?
There
Yeah, I
is.
was just curious where the parcel was.
It's, yeah, there's a plat map on there. It's the, what's his name?
So east of them or west of them?
It's the
Park engineering, did it?
the ones that came before us with the, yeah, there's a plat. What's his name?
Oh.
Ron Golden subdivision
Hey.
that was recorded before we was a town.
Okay.
And so that's the very end lot. Tom Gross, you remember, applied for a garage, and we
Yeah.
turned him down because he had to have a residence. And so this is that same parcel. Looks like it's changed to owners name.
This is right next to,
JB. Yes. So where you can see where the septic is, so our code states that it has to be so far away from residents. So if they put it that close to the line, it's kind of impacting the second law, so I don't know.
You know, I have to say, for me, that almost became something, and I made some phone calls because I thought, and they were 100 and something feet away, and so they weren't within that 100 feet parameter that you're talking about. How would they resolve that? 'Cause that's kind of important. I mean, at least from my understanding, with the health department and the issues, you want to be 100 feet away. Isn't that
Yeah.
code?
Yeah, in our code, that's what our code says, 100 feet away.
County code says that, I think.
Yeah, we just adopted that, so the problem exists is that the 100 feet doesn't have them in that side yard. So we'll be looking at that.
Is that something that, maybe a newer, different type of septic system might be applied, or imposed is not the right word, but, you know, I mean, there's other systems out there that might be more efficient than the old ones that we're all using now.
So
Yeah.
the tank or the leach field has to be 100 feet away.
Both. the tank, it has to be within 12 feet of the house by code.
Yeah.
So 12 feet, but then the leach field is supposed to be 100 feet away from any culinary source,
It
so.
has to be within 12 feet of the house.
Yeah, code says it's within 12 feet.
So this neighbor, I mean, that's a tough one.
It'll be tough, yeah, and they don't like a deep system, and of course, he's building on the lowest part of that lot. So it's gonna be tough to do, keeping it with,
Because you'll have to go, and it kind of tapers in the back, so you have to go straight back with it.
probably, yeah, probably, that's what I'm assuming, behind the house, but
It's gonna be
where
deep.
it's gonna be
As it
deep,
goes
but they won't
further.
approve a deep system because it perks too fast, so there'll be maybe some design issues that they'll have to overcome.
No go through planning unless there's an issue, correct? I mean, you really won't come up to us unless there's an issue that,
We have some commissioners who are well aware of that, and I believe it's gonna come up in the planning meeting.
Bring some fill in,
what?
bring some fill in, elevate the house.
Yeah,
That's one
Well,
option.
not exactly.
you can raise the elevation.
Well, that's what we did, my grandfather did with our house. Actually brought in 40 truckloads, to get us out of the floodplain.
Well, there's plenty of that around.
But then you gotta be your foundation on natural
Undisturbed soil.
undisturbed soil.
For a while. Let it sit there for a year or
So
so.
there'll be, well, we knew that, I mean, we knew that would be an issue as in some of these lots, you know, when we talked about that the design on some of these, and planning's talked about having irregular shaped lots, you know, taken out so that they're not allowed, but right now they're allowed to.
Question, like you just brought up, and you bring in so many loads, and you gotta have foundation on undisturbed, does that mean you could bring those in, but that area's gotta sit maybe for a year or whatever to everything to settle or what?
Well, undisturbed soil means native, so I don't know that you could let it sit there long enough, hundreds of thousands of years to be called native again. So, but there is some engineering,
Vibration.
yeah, there is some engineering where you can do,
Or
get
your
back.
footing before, bring everything up, and then you
You
bring
may
the
end
fill.
up with a basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe 2 levels of basement?
Out on the road.
And I'm sure there's other engineering things that you can do that will get you away from that very thing, but
Building on stilts,
it'll be a tough one.
Stilts?
yeah, like Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay, you like it?
Yep.
Any question? Everybody happy?
Okay.
Maybe that's it then.
That's it then. If you're happy, let's stop.
Is anything else?
I would, I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn for tonight's meeting.
Any motion to adjourn? Got a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second? No discussion, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Brendan's opposed, he wants to stay there longer.
Under the hour and a
Good.
half mark. Look at that.
That's the first in a year.